Honest Lifestyle Influencer here, and today I am reviewing the Tuni E2 58mm espresso machine that is supposed to be really amazing, and I am comparing it to the Casabrew, which I have found phenomenal and a great product as well. This is a step up. Follow me through. We're going to open it up, and then I'm going to end up making some espresso, and let's see what comes up here. By the way, I provide links below if you want to go check out reviews and read about it and get information about it. They have an outer box. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let's go ahead and open it up. And again, it's a Tuni E2, T-U-N-I. That's the brand name. Very nice packaging. Okay, user manual, very nice. They've got a nice quick guide. Oh, it's upside down. All right. Now, one thing about this that's really cool is that they basically give you everything you need out of the box and even some extras. So you don't have to go buy some of the extra accessories that you would need to do. For example, if you buy the, oh wow, this is the portafilter. This thing is solid. This is barista grade. I haven't even taken out the bag, but I can tell. All right. Oh wow, the damper and then a measuring cup. Pull it out of the bag. Now, one thing you're gonna notice is really interesting to me. You look at this, and then you look at this, Casabrew. I've got water in it, so I gotta be careful. These are very similar. The actual difference is though, the steam knob on the Casabrew is over here. The quality and build of this, I can tell right out of the gates, is better. It just feels a bit more solid. It does have the heater on top, the cup warmer on top. And we have more on this later, but I just wanted to show you a side-by-side. Next thing I want to show you, I was really impressed as I pulled this out of the bag. When I pulled this out, because this was, I just want to show you the difference. The Casabrew here, and then the Tuni here. This probably weighs 3 times as much. This is how a espresso portafilter is supposed to weigh. It's supposed to have this weight to it. And it's just built really well. This is a plastic, a chintzy material. It's like an alloy, like a metal alloy. A premium product here. Look at that. This is real quality, real weight. So here's the accessories I was telling you about. They include a steaming cup. You won't have to go buy one separately. Various filters. Another measuring cup. It's really excellent, makes life easy. And then there's this, which is your coffee scoop and another damper you can use. So we've got that all together. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are making espresso at home, it's something you like to do. There are quite a few options out there. I researched like crazy before I received this one. It does have a frother on it and steamer also, and it does have the pressure gauge so you can watch and make sure the pressure's right. So I'm just going to wash the various parts, and if you look here, you want to remove the tape from the water tank. Just gently remove the tape, and then you can just go ahead and pull the water tank out. Wash it out with some warm water and some soap. And this is one thing you need to really watch out for right here. See down here? This is something that some people forget to remove. They're quick unboxing. They don't read the instructions. You gotta make sure that thing is removed or you're gonna have some issues making anything. I'm gonna go ahead and wash the dual filter, the single filter, the measuring cup, the tank. Just one thing I wanted to show you too, this also comes with there's 2 different fittings for the frother. So there's a dual fitting and a single that's already on there. And that just unscrews, which is actually really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly wash this off as well. Here's everything I'm gonna wash. And then I forgot about something. I forgot to open this front. And I think there's a part that I'm not sure if it's here or not, or if it was included, but I'm very curious. I'm making a mess. Just gently take off the tape. This comes out. And then this obviously is just your catch that is used. Oh, there was nothing else in there. You can see here. And then this just slides back on. One thing I really like to do in my review videos when I'm reviewing a product is go through it just like you would at home to see anything that I run into, anything confusing. It's definitely a lot of pieces. If you're not an espresso person or you're not familiar or you're not a barista and trained in this, you're gonna run into some confusing things. One thing to know, espresso machine is all about pressure. It pushes pressure on the coffee, and then that's what makes it so strong because it pushes really, really hard. And then the powder they use in espresso when you grind the beans, you make them really, really tiny. So what was called extraction, you get all the flavors and everything out of it, and then you get a creme, like a foam on the top. That's ideal. So I'm going to show you how all that works. This is the simplicity. These are all the pieces and parts. And your tamp, your measure, another tamp. This is where you push down. Double shot of espresso, single shot of espresso. So it depends on what you're making. They've got both covered. Here, so I'm just washing warm water and some soap. Just want to clean everything up as good as you can and dry it off. And we're going to get to making some espresso. I got everything clean. As you can see, all the parts are here. I'm going to quickly go through putting it together. You also want to just, on the outside of the machine, you just want to, with a damp cloth, wipe it down and get anything that might be on there, just to make sure it's nice and clean. One thing I want to show you also, again, comparison with the Casabrew to portafilters, you can obviously see the difference. This is 58 millimeters. This is basically a barista grade in size right here. And look at the bottom of that. And I want to show you how these sit on the counter. They also are very smart on this, and they put a rubber point. So when you have your tamp, you can actually put it on the edge of the counter without scratching the counter because you have the rubber there, which is actually a really nice, you can even tap it a little if you have to. Very nice feature, premium type stuff. Let's go ahead and put it together. Very simple. This just goes here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a single shot. So you wanna make sure that that clicks in really nice, even and all the way in. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the water. Now you'll see there's a max line. Always be aware of that. And there's a minimum line. Sometimes when the water is below the minimum, it won't actually make espresso. It won't process the water. So I'm just gonna put enough in here, probably a couple cups. And if you come back around here, I'll just show you that when you put this on, you always wanna make sure that this latch goes into this sleeve right here. So just gently, you can just gently drop it in. Just make sure there's no space here, because if you do this wrong, it looks like that, you're gonna have trouble, you're gonna have water leaking, you could have all kinds of problems. One other quick thing I wanna show you, this specific model has what's called a double pressure, which means that you can do steam and espresso essentially without losing any volume of pressure, because a lot of the home models are single pressure, and what happens is you lose pressure in here when you use that, and you're kind of balancing. Be aware that because of the way that these are designed, if the espresso isn't ground correctly, if you use basically one of those, the grinders that you squeeze down or you buzz and chop it up, a lot of times you're not going to get a correct, consistent grind, and you're going to have issues. And these things can be problematic because they're meant to give the perfect taste, the perfect texture, perfect everything. You basically have to make everything perfect to have it come out perfect. That was genius. All right, guys, so I just plugged it in, and what you're looking at, the power lights up here as soon as that's plugged in. Next step is hitting the power button, and what this is gonna do is preheat the water and get everything ready. When the preheating is done and the water's ready, my understanding is all of these lights are gonna be solid. Now, as this is heating up, the next thing we're gonna do, once that's done, is we're going to put some steam into a cup for about 8 seconds. We're gonna run that so water comes through the system. Also know that there's going to be a loud sound. It's going to make more noise the first time we run it. You can see all the buttons are lit up solid now, and we're going to be hitting this button right here with the frother cup, and we are going to release the water for 8 seconds. Then I'm going to hit the steam cool button. You can see that. You want to make sure you just stand back and don't go near that, or make sure it doesn't splash on you or anything like that, because that is really, really hot water. And that's about 8 seconds. And I'm gonna hit that button one more time to turn it off. Just a word of caution. So when you're working with steam and you're doing anything with that, just always be really alert, be really aware, because that is extremely hot, and the cup itself can get very hot. You can even wear gloves for the first time you're getting used to using the machine. Now, if you watched the earlier part of my video, you saw that I put the filter into the portafilter, and this is the double shot filter. Remember, I'm gonna be doing a single shot. That's what that looks like. So that's the next step. Now I'm gonna go grind the beans. I've got some pretty fancy beans today from Bend, Oregon. This is the double walled glass cup I'm gonna be using. These are really awesome. When you are filling this up with your espresso grind, you wanna look for that max line and absolutely make sure you do not exceed that. Remember, when we put the portafilter on and connect it to the machine, it is a very tight connection. So any unevenness or anything can sometimes make it difficult to get on, particularly if you have too much grind in there. And also you could get a really funny taste. And here's the consistency I have. You'll see that. And I'll put some notes down there in the amount of grams I use in a single shot and what setting I put it on. I'm also going to be reviewing the Tuni burr grinder, which is going to be a separate video when I'm done with that. But that is the product that comes with this when you buy the combo kit. And I do recommend getting them both together. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get the beans into portafilter. So you wanna get the tamp nice and even. I went ahead and used this. Works really great. And you will see that this, see that max line? That's a line you do not wanna be over. And I have about 9 grams powder in here. This is what I'm gonna use to make the first batch. Remember, when all the lights are on solid like that, the machine is ready for use. One other thing I forgot to mention, which both machines have, but this one specifically, the Tuni, has suction cups on the bottom. I can't tip the machine over to show you, but so if you have a marble counter or a tile counter or something, those suction cups help keep the machine nice, steady in place. Right now, what I'm doing here is actually cleaning out the system and running a hot brew straight through the machine into a cup just to go through its cycles and warm up the portafilter. You also want to do this to clean out the system before the first use. Like I was saying earlier, it's going to make a little bit more noise the first time you use it. It's actually quite quiet. That's pretty impressive. It's a nice muffled muted sound. It's not too bad. I'm surprised. Okay, there we go. So that was just water. Guys, as you can see, the grinds are nicely tamped. I use this to tamp them down. And what I'm gonna do is place this straight into the machine. You just gently lock it up here and you gently pull it over and just wanna make sure it's locked nicely in place. As you can see, all the lights are on. That means the temperature's right and the machine is ready to go. Here's that double-walled glass. I'm gonna go ahead and set that right in the center. And you wanna make sure, just use this guide as a line. If you're using a smaller espresso cup, you just wanna make sure that it's lined up perfectly in there to make sure that the liquid makes it into where it's supposed to go. Once that's all set, it's really simple. Just hit the coffee button and we're gonna start the extraction. Now, watch this meter here too, because this meter should be somewhere in the red. Here's the double-walled glass I showed you earlier. These are absolutely amazing. I put a link below. When you put the cup in there, you just want to make sure it's completely aligned here. And if you have a smaller espresso shot cup, you really want to make sure it's aligned because it will fall right down into there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the coffee button. And this is going to start the extraction. Now you'll see that the pressure gauge is moving up here. You see that? It's right on the line. That's about as far as we'd ever want it to go on the red. Because my tamp was pretty tight. That means there's a lot of pressure happening right now, which isn't ideal for some people, but I like the espresso this way. And if you look at the creme, look at that. See how frothy that is as it comes down there? And remember, this is just a single shot. It's about 10 grams of espresso powder, and it'll be done in just a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and froth some milk and pour it into there. Show the use of the steamer. As you finish drink. All right, guys, this is kind of a weird angle that I'm doing this. I do not do it this way at home. You want to be standing under it. I put my hand under the cup. One of the measurements that I use is when the froth is ready, when it's warm enough, I can feel my hand being warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin this process. Remember, you hit the steam button as earlier, and we're just gonna, and there's a lot of different ways you can do this, and I'm just basically doing a very simple thing here. That's gonna be good enough. And what I'm gonna do is take the espresso now, and I'm going to pour it in. I'm not going to do any pictures or anything, but there you go. And that is a complete espresso. Everything all in one right there. So when the machine completely cools down, I take the part off and I clean it. And normally what you do is just run hot steam through it and by itself to help clean it out. But you never want to touch this right after you use it because it will be extremely hot. There's no question for the money that this machine is worth it. Another thing is, I forgot to mention, this actually heats up above. So when you put a cup up here and it sits on here, you can have it pre-warmed. Okay, so overall, I'm gonna give this a rating. Again, compared to the other machines I've used, the closest one to this was the Casabrew, which I showed you earlier. I have no real problems with that machine, except this is just a cut above all the way around. You get the accessories, you get everything you need, a really heavy duty tamp, and you get the dual action steam, the barista grade portafilter right here. One thing you need to keep in mind with this, because of the type of machine this is that you really need to pay attention to the ground, the thickness, the coarseness of the ground, and the pressure of the tamp, and making sure that you find the right balance that you like and taste. But also, if there's too much pressure or too little pressure, you're never going to get the cream right. You're never going to get the way you want. So with that in mind and everything that's included here, I'm going to give this machine a solid 8. That's the review of the E2 Tuni. Recommended if you're out shopping and looking, read the reviews, see what other people are saying. It's a great machine. Thanks for watching.